The mother of DAWA Group is Medicell Kenya Limited, which was started in late 1994, basically between myself and the group chairman, Dr. Raju Mohindra. We had just finished our university education. I had come back from America. My family was in the pharmacy business. His family was in the medical business. But we were looking for something to do, and we felt there was a gap in the pharma business, especially the generics, and that's where we started Medicell Kenya Limited to import quality pharmaceuticals from India and China and some from Europe. So that's how Medicell started. We started very small. There was just in a two-room office with 4 employees, basically me, myself, Dr. Raju, a secretary, and 1 person for dispatch and stores. So that's how we started, and we slowly started expanding, selling to rest of Kenya. We ourselves used to go into the market to get orders. Finally, in 1999 is when we started expanding to surgicals, and in 2000 we started going into branded generics, where we linked up with some Indian companies to brand and market certain products, especially whether they're in the cardiac range or the dermatology range. In 2004 is when we actually started developing our own brands from contract manufactured, and we had our own marketing teams, and we started creating our own name for Medicell Kenya Limited. In 2004 is also when DAWA Pharmaceuticals was put on sale by the government, and we decided that this was the next step for us to move into, to help us move into the region, and also follow the government policy on manufacturing. So in 2004 is when we acquired DAWA Limited, or DAWA Pharmaceuticals. We changed it to DAWA Limited because we had bought the assets. So DAWA Limited, which is based in Ruaraka, Nairobi, one of the oldest pharmaceutical manufacturers in this region, which is East Africa, I would say. And we slowly started building DAWA Limited to where it is today in terms of the infrastructure, the quality of products, the range of products, and the network. So that actually is where now DAWA Group birth was given, because DAWA at that time was a very well-known brand, dealing with the government as well as the private sector. In 2009 is when we decided to venture a little bit into the real estate field, and we acquired some land in Nairobi and built residential flats. The first one was Temple View Apartments, which then housed our marketing division in Nairobi, as well as our sister company offices for Medicell Nairobi. In 2012 is when we built another set of flats in Nairobi, Kosirina Heights. So that was the initiation of our of the real estate. In 2014 and 2015 is when we again, Forest Road Development, which is the real estate arm, built the now landmark of Thika, which is the Ananas Mall, which has very famous anchor tenants, the Tuskies, Bata, Galitos, Chicken Inn, and so on. So that's a landmark in Thika. We also, in 2015, was a big year for us because Medicell Kenya Limited inaugurated its new offices in Thika, which is next to Bidco, and a state-of-art a dedicated veterinary manufacturing unit also on the same site. By now, we had grown in terms of manpower to nearly 600. That was in 2016 between Medicell Kenya and DAWA Limited. In 2015 is when we officially launched DAWA Group to incorporate the various companies, because like I said, 2015 was also a very important year for us because we also acquired Kel Chemicals, which is in Thika, which is a chemical factory which manufactures sulfuric acid, manufactures aluminium sulfate, which is used for water purification, and single superphosphate fertilizer, which is used for top dressing and is partly also used by the government. So we had 4 entities in 2015, and then we launched DAWA Group.
This has been our growth journey, and the challenges have been, we've been too busy focusing inwards that we didn't think how was the best way to have sorted the group out. But now I think we're at a stage we're going to sort out all the stuff for the group. Right now we're running individually, but the focus is to now put it together as a group and run it as a one group. The strategy behind that will be to merge will be because the functions to use the best talent we have, so that the best person is doing the best job, whether it's for one company or for the 5 companies, it's one person doing the same job all across. So you build the expertise. So if I'm doing tax, then one person is responsible for the tax, one person is responsible for the banks, one person is doing reconciliations, so that the expertise is developed in-house rather than one person trying to do everything and it's not the right way. Then we will be able to decentralize our operations thoroughly, that it will all come to one place, the way Bidco is doing, everything comes into one head office and they do everything from there. So the operations are running wherever they are running, but we centralize the paperwork. The other strategy will be more sales focused and the growth strategy, but for the finance strategy will be to, you see there is a growth strategy which is for sales and for the company as a whole, but the finance strategy is to put the same system throughout, to build our internal expertise in sorting out the paperwork so that we are compliant in each and every corner, and to have the same system.
For a manufacturing plant, compliance to CGMP standards, which are always changing, because they current. So it is not a static thing. It is not a law, it is guidelines. So DAWA has been investing in the plants to upgrade the facility to the GMP practice, CGMP requirements. So in last about 3 to 4 years, we have invested more than 500 million shillings to upgrade this facility to WHO standards. So we set up a new beta-lactam facilities, and in our general block, which is non-beta-lactam, where we have our tablet, capsules, liquid, ointments. So we did a upgradation so that the facility complies to WHO standards.
We have 5 core values: integrity, teamwork, customer service, renovation, innovation, and respect to all.
We are very clear that we will not compromise on any of these values, whether it costs money or costs an investment. We realized the potential of the future being in the unity amongst our organization. To bring out the best of anybody was to work together as a team.
Our networking is number 1 in this country, and we are trying to do it outside the country as well, in other parts of Africa. The reason behind is the customer values what we take to ourselves, because as is said, for us customer is a god. Whether it's a supplier, whether it's our pharmacy level customers or distributors or sub-distributors, and our internal customer, my people even itself, I call them a customer. When I am in a business, I look at that. But when we call up the external customers, definitely our customer services, we have created departments, we have created systems so that they are always happy about the services we provide. Of course, there are complaints. Of course, that should be there. How would we know about the improvement? For that, we do our evaluations. For that, we have our internal audits. You see, our company, our group, not only our external auditors, even our internal audit is on almost day-to-day basis. So that helps us to improve upon the customer service. But it is one of our core values, because without customers, business cannot survive, sustain, or succeed.
Respect is very paramount in any environment. It's actually not just within a working environment per se, but even you can imagine even from your own home. It starts at home basically, because the values that you have as a person is what you bring with yourself to where you're working. So basically, respect is very instrumental to me as a person, but I'll tell you, even for DAWA Limited, I know for a fact that respect is very instrumental, because we cannot be able to work where we do not respect one another. And I'll tell you, currently I have not seen any form of discrimination in this company, and that explains why I've been able to work here for that long, 7 years. It's not a very short period, I would say. So there is a quite fairness, which we can now extend not just in the DAWA, but at that group level. And then the other thing I would say is to ensure that there is that open dialogue, so that every person opinion matters, and for sure that happens, because I'll tell you, it is very easy here for us to exchange ideas. It doesn't mean that what I think should be done is what must be done. We work as a team, and therefore it will be very, very key to ensure that everybody's opinion is listened to, debated, and then you come at an agreement.
Yeah, quality assurance as a concept is not a one-time thing. It's a sum total of all the activities in the organization, ranging from how we pre-qualify our suppliers, how we eventually purchase from those suppliers, transport those raw materials, and any other kind of inputs into the organization. All that process, which is external, must be controlled under the control of the quality assurance of the company. So we also have developed our own internal quality assurance system, that when a product comes inside from a source which is external to us, we have put in our own internal procedures to ensure that it is of good quality. We have set our specifications, which are derived from some of the stringent pharmacopoeia, like the British pharmacopoeia, the United States pharmacopoeia, so that our standards meet those global standards as a strategy.
If people know you deal with integrity, you do your work honestly, you're reliable, you don't cut corners to produce products so that you make a quick turnaround, people will trust you. And even word of mouth there will say, DAWA group of companies, starting with Medicel, is reliable and will bring in even more people, and that means more profitability for the company.
If you look at the mission, vision, and the core values, these are the shared values. And if we bring the shared values together, you're talking of strengths put together. So when you have different strengths put together, you are able to capture new markets, you are able to come up with quality and innovative products. Having the shared values together in terms of respectability, you are able to retain and motivate your staff and make them feel comfortable working for the organization. So it becomes an all-inclusivity environment whereby everybody has that sense of ownership. And when everybody has that sense of ownership, you reduce conflicts, you reduce job dissatisfaction, and also you reduce high attrition, which is high rate of employees leaving your organization.